Do you want to know the difference between those who just survive in business and those who build empires that generate millions? It's not luck. It's not just timing. It's scale-less. Today, I'm going to share the business skills that make millions, the exact abilities that separate successful entrepreneurs and business leaders from the rest. If you master these, your financial future can change forever. Sales and persuasion are the heartbeat of every successful business, and they are the skills that truly separate those who struggle from those who thrive. At its core, sales is not about convincing people to buy something they don't need. It is about identifying a problem, presenting a solution, and making the value so clear that the customer feels empowered to say yes. Persuasion is the art that supports sales, because persuasion is not manipulation. It is the ability to connect with people, to align with their desires and fears, and to present an opportunity in a way that resonates deeply. Every great entrepreneur, from the ones running small businesses to the leaders of billion-dollar empires, knows that if you can master sales and persuasion, you unlock the key to limitless income potential. You could have the best product in the world, but if you cannot communicate its value, you will remain invisible. The market rewards those who can connect, influence, and inspire action. And that is why sales and persuasion are considered millionaire making skills. When you think about it, sales happens in every area of life. A job interview is a sale of your skills and character. Convincing investors to back your startup is a sale of your vision and potential. Asking a client to sign a contract is a sale of your credibility and solution. Even in personal life, persuading a friend to try a new restaurant or motivating your family to adopt a healthier lifestyle is an act of persuasion. The difference is that in business, this skill directly translates into revenue. If you cannot sell, you limit your ability to grow, but once you learn how to sell effectively, you become unstoppable. This is why people who master sales often rise to the top quickly, because sales drives cash flow and cash flow drives growth. Sales is also about psychology. Human beings buy based on emotion and justify with logic. They want to feel safe. They want to feel smart. They want to feel like they made the right choice. A skilled salesperson knows how to create that emotional connection and then back it up with facts, figures, and proof. They listen more than they speak. They uncover the real pain points of the customer, and they present their solution as the bridge to the customer's desired future. Persuasion plays into this by shaping the narrative, by framing choices in a way that makes one option stand out as the obvious best choice. The ability to influence how someone perceives value is one of the most powerful tools in business, and those who master it rarely struggle financially. Another reason sales and persuasion create millionaires is scalability. Once you know how to sell one product or service, you can replicate the process across multiple offers, markets, and audiences. You understand what makes people tick. You know how to craft irresistible offers, and you can build teams of salespeople who multiply your reach. Think about the biggest companies in the world. They didn't get there by accident. They mastered the art of creating offers that people can't resist and building persuasive systems, from advertising campaigns to sales scripts that consistently bring in revenue. Behind every marketing funnel, every commercial, every sales pitch, there are principles of persuasion working silently but powerfully. Mastering sales also builds confidence. When you know you can sell, you stop fearing rejection and uncertainty. You walk into opportunities with the belief that you can create value and communicate it clearly. That confidence attracts clients, partners, and investors. It creates momentum, and momentum is what drives business growth. Many aspiring entrepreneurs spend too much time focusing on product perfection or branding while neglecting the one skill that could actually bring them revenue. Sales solves problems because money in the door gives you options, and options allow you to improve, expand, and innovate. Financial literacy is one of the most powerful business skills that separates those who build lasting wealth from those who lose money as quickly as they earn it. It is not enough to generate income, because income without management will eventually disappear. Financial literacy means understanding how money works, how to make it, how to manage it, how to protect it, and most importantly, how to multiply it. Millionaires are not only skilled at earning money, they are masters at keeping it and growing it. They understand concepts like cash flow, profit margins, return on investment, and leverage. And they use this knowledge to make decisions that protect their wealth while expanding it over time. Without financial literacy, even the highest income can collapse under the weight of poor decisions, debt, and waste. With financial literacy, even a modest income can grow into something extraordinary because the person in control knows how to make every dollar work harder. One of the first elements of financial literacy is knowing the difference between assets and liabilities. Many people confuse the two, believing that anything they purchase is an asset. But millionaires think differently. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket, while a liability takes money out. A car for personal use may be a liability, but that same car used in a delivery business can be an asset. Millionaires look for ways to acquire assets that generate cash flow, whether it's real estate, stocks, intellectual property, or businesses. They understand that wealth is not about what you earn. It is about what you own that keeps paying you. Another crucial aspect is cash flow management. It is not enough to just have money coming in. You must know where it goes, how it is allocated, and how it is reinvested. Millionaires keep a close eye on their inflows and outflows, ensuring that their businesses remain profitable and sustainable. They understand that cash flow is the lifeblood of business, and a lack of cash flow can kill even the most promising idea. By mastering the movement of money, they can make smarter decisions, weather economic downturns, and seize opportunities when others are forced to sit back. Financial literacy also involves understanding leverage and debt. While most people fear debt, the financially literate know that not all debt is bad. There is destructive debt, such as high interest loans for consumption, and there is productive debt, which is used to acquire income, generating assets, or scale a business. Millionaires use leverage wisely, allowing borrowed capital to work in their favor, multiplying their gains and accelerating growth. They respect the power of money and use it strategically instead of emotionally. Taxes are another area where financial literacy creates a huge advantage. The average person sees taxes as something that simply takes away from their income, but millionaires view taxes as a system to navigate intelligently. They learn how to structure their businesses, investments, and income streams in ways that minimize their tax burden legally. They work with accountants and advisors who help them keep more of what they earn, and by doing so, they have more capital available for reinvestment. This is why two people with the same income can end up with vastly different levels of wealth, because one is financially literate while the other is not. Beyond the technical knowledge, financial literacy creates discipline. It teaches the value of budgeting, saving, and delayed gratification. Millionaires know that money is a tool, not something to flaunt or waste. They reinvest profits into growth rather than spending impulsively. They track performance, measure returns, and analyze risks before committing their capital. This discipline is what allows them to sustain and build wealth across decades instead of relying on short-term wins. Financial literacy also extends to investing. Millionaires understand that letting money sit idle is a missed opportunity. They learn how to evaluate investments, diversify their portfolios, and manage risk. They don't depend on a single source of income, but instead build multiple streams, each one creating cash flow and security. They study trends, they educate themselves about new markets, and they make informed decisions that align with their long-term vision. True financial literacy also involves teaching and legacy. Millionaires pass down this knowledge to their children, their teams, and their communities because they know that wealth without education often disappears within a generation. By creating a mindset of financial awareness and responsibility, they ensure that their success continues to expand beyond themselves. Leadership and team building are among the most critical skills that transform a small business into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. No one achieves massive success entirely on their own, and every millionaire knows that the strength of a business lies in the people who drive it forward. Leadership is not about titles or authority. It is about vision, influence, and the ability to inspire others to work toward a common goal. Team building goes hand in hand with leadership because without the right people and the right culture, even the most talented leader cannot achieve greatness. Together, these skills create the foundation for growth, innovation, and long-term success in business. A true leader is someone who sees the big picture, who is able to chart a direction and communicate it in a way that makes others want to follow. Leadership requires clarity of vision and the ability to keep that vision alive even when challenges appear. It is not about forcing people to work, but about inspiring them to believe in the mission so strongly that they give their best willingly. Millionaires understand that their role is not just to manage tasks, but to guide people, to build trust, and to create an environment where everyone feels valued and motivated. When people feel seen and appreciated, they go beyond expectations, and this level of performance is what elevates businesses from ordinary to extraordinary. Team building is the practical extension of leadership. It involves selecting the right people, putting them in the right roles, and aligning their strengths with the goals of the business. Successful entrepreneurs know that they cannot do everything alone, and instead of trying to be experts in every area, they surround themselves with people who complement their weaknesses and amplify their strengths. A strong team is diverse, bringing different perspectives and skills, and when united under a shared mission, it becomes unstoppable. Millionaires build teams that operate like well-oiled machines, where each individual knows their purpose and how their contribution matters to the bigger picture. Leadership also requires emotional intelligence. It is not enough to know strategy and systems. A great leader understands people, their emotions, and their motivations. They know how to handle conflicts with fairness, how to encourage collaboration, and how to bring out the best in each team member. They listen, they adapt, and they lead by example. Millionaires understand that leadership is influence, and influence is built through relationships, integrity, and consistency. When leaders demonstrate the values they expect from others, they create loyalty and respect, which cannot be bought, but must be earned. Another important element of leadership is delegation. Too many business owners hold on to every task out of fear or control, but millionaires know that delegation is the only way to scale. By empowering others to take ownership of responsibilities, they free themselves to focus on vision, growth, and innovation. Delegation is not about assigning tasks, it's about trusting people, training them, and giving them the autonomy to make decisions. This builds confidence in the team and creates a culture of accountability and excellence. A strong leader also invests in the growth of their team. Millionaires know that the development of their people is the development of their business. They provide opportunities for training, mentorship, and personal growth, because they understand that a skilled, motivated team will create far more value than one that is stagnant. This investment builds loyalty and reduces turnover, ensuring that the business has a strong, stable foundation to build on. Leadership and team building also extend to creating culture. A company's culture determines how people work together, how they solve problems, and how they pursue goals. Great leaders are intentional about creating a culture of positivity, innovation, and excellence. They know that culture is what drives performance when no one is watching. A team that is united by strong values and a shared vision can overcome obstacles that would crush less cohesive groups. Millionaires spend time shaping and protecting this culture because they know it directly affects productivity, creativity, and long-term success. Marketing and branding are the engines that fuel the growth of every million-dollar business. You could have the best product or service in the world, but if nobody knows it exists, it will sit in the dark and never reach its potential. Marketing is the process of getting attention, creating demand, and driving sales, while branding is about shaping perception, building trust, and creating long-term loyalty. Together, they form a powerful combination that allows businesses to rise above the noise and establish a lasting presence in the marketplace. Millionaires understand that success is not just about what you sell, but about how people perceive it, how they connect with it emotionally, and how effectively you communicate its value to the world. Marketing is about visibility, and visibility is power in business. The more people know who you are and what you offer, the greater your chances of building a steady stream of customers. Millionaires treat marketing as an investment, not an expense, because they know that every dollar spent wisely on marketing can bring back multiple dollars in return. They leverage advertising, social media, content creation, partnerships, and storytelling to ensure that their message reaches the right audience at the right time. They don't wait for customers to find them. They actively pursue attention and turn that attention into revenue. But marketing alone is not enough without branding. Branding is the identity of a business, the image and reputation that lives in the minds of customers. It's the difference between someone buying a generic product and choosing a specific brand they trust. Millionaires invest heavily in branding because they know people don't just buy products. They buy feelings, experiences, and promises. A strong brand communicates credibility, sets you apart from competitors, and makes your business unforgettable. When people recognize your brand and associate it with quality and trust, they return again and again, and they recommend you to others. The psychology of branding plays a massive role in why some businesses make millions. Humans are emotional buyers, and branding taps into those emotions. The right colors, logos, slogans, and stories can create a powerful connection with customers. Think of global giants like Apple, Nike, or Coca-Cola. People don't just purchase their products, they identify with their stories, their culture, and their values. Millionaires understand this principle and create branding strategies that speak directly to the hearts of their audiences, making customers feel like they are part of something bigger than just a transaction. Marketing and branding also create positioning. In business, positioning is everything. You can be the cheapest option, the most luxurious option, or the most innovative option, but you cannot be everything at once. Millionaires are strategic about how they position their businesses in the market. They study their target audience, learn their desires and pain points, and present their brand as the ultimate solution. They use marketing campaigns to reinforce this positioning consistently, making it clear why customers should choose them over anyone else. Consistency is another key factor in marketing and branding. Millionaires know that success doesn't come from one viral post or one clever advertisement. It comes from showing up repeatedly, delivering the same message, and reinforcing the same values over time. Consistency builds familiarity, and familiarity builds trust. Customers begin to feel like they know the brand personally, and that trust leads to loyalty. Consistent branding also creates recognition so that even in a crowded market, your business stands out instantly. Another element that millionaires master is storytelling. Stories sell far more effectively than features and benefits. A well-crafted story about how a product was created, how it changes lives, or how it aligns with a greater mission can capture attention and inspire customers to take action. People remember stories much longer than they remember statistics. And this is why branding through storytelling is such a powerful strategy. Millionaires use stories not only to promote their products, but also to humanize their businesses, showing customers that behind the brand are people with passion and purpose. Marketing and branding are also scalable. Once a system is in place, it can reach millions of people across different platforms, regions, and demographics. With digital marketing, a single ad campaign can generate thousands of leads in just a few hours. With strong branding, one product launch can create waves that last for years. Millionaires know how to scale their marketing strategies while keeping their branding consistent, which is why they continue to grow exponentially. Adaptability and innovation are the survival codes of business in a world that changes faster than ever before. No matter how successful a business is today, if it fails to adapt tomorrow, it risks becoming irrelevant. The stories of companies that once dominated entire industries but disappeared because they resisted change are everywhere. On the other hand, the companies that thrive and grow into multi-million-dollar empires are the ones that embrace change, anticipate trends, and innovate before the rest of the market catches up. Adaptability is about flexibility, the willingness to adjust strategies, processes, and mindsets in response to new realities. Innovation is about creativity, about bringing fresh solutions to old problems and introducing new ideas that set the standard for the future. Millionaires understand that change is not something to fear. It is an opportunity waiting to be leveraged. Adaptability in business requires a mindset shift. Many people cling to what has worked in the past, thinking it will continue to work forever, but markets evolve, customer preferences shift, and technology disrupts entire industries. Millionaires train themselves to be agile, to adjust their strategies quickly when needed. Instead of holding on to outdated methods, they pay attention to data, listen to customer feedback, and stay open to trying new approaches. They understand that flexibility is not a weakness, but a strength, because the ability to pivot can mean the difference between staying afloat and sinking when times change. Innovation goes hand in hand with adaptability. While adaptability is about responding to changes, innovation is about creating them. Innovators don't wait for opportunities to knock. They build doors where none existed. They look at problems differently, asking questions others overlook, and daring to challenge the status quo. Innovation can mean developing a groundbreaking product, finding a more efficient way to deliver services, or crafting a unique customer experience that competitors cannot match. Millionaires know that innovation keeps a business exciting, relevant, and ahead of the competition, and they continually invest in creativity and experimentation. Technology is a perfect example of where adaptability and innovation play out. The businesses that embraced digital platforms early skyrocketed in growth, while those that resisted struggled to catch up. E-commerce, social media marketing, artificial intelligence, and automation are not just trends, they are new realities that shape how businesses operate. Millionaires don't wait to be forced into change by external pressures. They study trends and adopt new tools before the masses do. By being early adopters of innovation, they position themselves to lead industries instead of chasing behind. Adaptability also requires resilience. Change often brings uncertainty and discomfort, and not every new strategy will succeed on the first attempt. Millionaires see setbacks as feedback, not failure. They analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and try again until they find the winning formula. This resilience allows them to continue moving forward when others give up, the ability to adapt under pressure, to stay calm and flexible when challenges arise, creates stability in unstable environments and opens doors to new opportunities. Innovation thrives in environments that encourage curiosity and creativity. Millionaires build cultures within their companies where new ideas are welcomed, tested, and refined. They empower their teams to think outside the box, rewarding initiative and experimentation instead of punishing mistakes. This approach creates a pipeline of innovation, ensuring that fresh solutions are always in development. When employees feel safe to contribute ideas, the business benefits from diverse perspectives and a constant flow of creativity, which can be transformed into products, services, or processes that drive millions in revenue. Adaptability and innovation also extend to customer relationships. Customer needs are never static. They evolve with lifestyle changes, technological advancements, and cultural shifts. Businesses that pay attention to these changes and innovate accordingly keep their customers engaged and loyal. Millionaires don't just ask how to sell more of the same product. They ask how to serve their customers better, how to anticipate needs before they are expressed, and how to deliver more value in new ways. This customer-focused adaptability creates long-term trust and ensures that the business stays relevant. History shows that industries rise and fall, but innovation and adaptability are the constants behind businesses that stand the test of time. From startups that disrupt entire markets to legacy companies that reinvent themselves to remain competitive, the pattern is always the same. Those who adapt and innovate survive and thrive, while those who resist fade away. Millionaires understand this truth and therefore commit themselves to lifelong learning, staying open-minded, and embracing change as a natural part of business growth. Strategic thinking and execution are the hidden engines that turn ideas into millions. Many people have dreams, and many even have good ideas, but without strategy and the ability to put that strategy into action, those ideas remain just dreams. Strategic thinking is the skill of seeing beyond the immediate, of connecting today's actions with tomorrow's outcomes, and of making decisions that create long-term advantage rather than short-term gain. Execution is the discipline of carrying out those strategies with precision, consistency, and focus. Millionaires excel at both because they know that vision without strategy is blind and strategy without execution is useless. Strategic thinking begins with clarity. It requires the ability to define goals clearly, to analyze the current reality honestly, and to design a roadmap that bridges the gap between the two. Millionaires think differently from the average person because they are always asking what the bigger picture is and how each step today contributes to the ultimate destination. They break down massive goals into smaller, actionable steps, prioritizing the moves that create the highest impact. This clarity allows them to stay focused while others get lost in distractions, and it gives them the patience to play the long game rather than chasing quick wins that don't last. Execution is where strategy comes alive. Many people get stuck in the planning stage, endlessly brainstorming but never acting. Millionaires avoid this trap by committing to execution with relentless consistency. They understand that even the best strategy means nothing without action. Execution requires discipline, and discipline means doing what needs to be done even when it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. By building systems, creating habits, and holding themselves accountable, they transform strategy into results. This is why millionaires are often described as action takers, They move forward, test ideas, adjust quickly, and keep building momentum. A critical part of strategic thinking is resource management. Millionaires know how to allocate their time, money, and energy toward the actions that matter most. They don't waste energy on things that won't bring returns, and they don't spread themselves too thin. Instead, they concentrate resources on the opportunities that align with their vision and produce the greatest outcomes. This is why they seem to achieve so much with the same 24 hours that everyone else has. It is not about working harder. It is about working smarter, guided by strategy. Another element of strategy is anticipating obstacles. Millionaires don't just plan for the ideal scenario. They think ahead about potential risks, challenges, and setbacks. This foresight allows them to create backup plans and prepare themselves mentally for adversity. When challenges arise, they are not caught off guard, and because they have already considered different scenarios, they adapt quickly and continue moving forward. This resilience and foresight give them a competitive edge because while others panic at unexpected problems, they are already several moves ahead. Execution also requires measurement. Millionaires don't just act blindly. They track results, measure progress, and analyze outcomes. They know that what gets measured gets managed, so they rely on data, feedback, and performance indicators to refine their strategies and improve their execution. By monitoring results consistently, they can identify what works, eliminate what doesn't, and scale the actions that bring success. This constant cycle of action, measurement, and adjustment keeps them on track and accelerates their growth. Strategic thinking also involves leveraging people and systems. Millionaires recognize that they cannot achieve everything alone, so they design strategies that involve teams, partnerships, and automated systems to amplify their efforts. They delegate effectively, build networks, and use technology to streamline execution. This leverage allows them to scale their businesses far beyond what they could accomplish individually. Execution becomes smoother and more efficient because the systems carry much of the weight, freeing them to focus on higher-level strategic decisions. Perhaps the most important part of strategic thinking and execution is alignment. Millionaires ensure that their daily actions align with their ultimate vision. They say no to distractions, opportunities that don't fit the plan, and ventures that might look profitable in the short term but do not align with their bigger mission. This alignment gives them focus and consistency, creating a straight path toward their goals while others wander aimlessly from one idea to the next. The discipline to stay aligned, combined with the courage to execute consistently, is what transforms strategy into millions.